For centuries, the galactic empires have expanded, conquering world after world, absorbing species into their vast domains. But there is a hard boundary, an invisible wall where every map simply stops: human space. No one dares to venture beyond. No one asks why. The greatest minds of the galaxy whisper about it, but fear keeps them silent. The Cathari, a proud and ancient race, had mapped thousands of star systems, their empire stretching further than any other. Yet, when they reached the human territories, their grand explorers simply stopped. They didn't return. No distress signals, no final messages, no wreckage. Just silence. The Galactic Council, a coalition of the most powerful species in the known universe, had long debated the human question. They were an oddity, a species that had clawed its way to the stars through war, bloodshed, and sheer reckless determination. Unlike other civilizations that grew through diplomacy or slow advancement, humans expanded like fire, violent, unpredictable, unstoppable. And then, just as suddenly as they had appeared, they stopped. Their ships no longer explored. Their colonies did not spread beyond a specific border. No wars, no treaties, no further expansion. They had drawn a line in the void, and no one dared cross it. But someone had to ask. Ambassador Corin Vesh of the Zixari Dominion had spent his life studying the humans. They were fascinating. Fragile yet terrifying, weak yet impossible to subdue. He had read the reports, listened to the stories, and felt the unease that ran through the council whenever the topic of Earth was brought up. And now he had his chance. A human delegation had extended an invitation, the first in over a century. A single ship was allowed to enter their space, to meet them on one of their core worlds. It was an honor, an opportunity, and a warning. Corin knew the risks. Everyone did. No one who crossed into human space had ever returned. But the question burned inside him. He had to know why. So, he accepted. As his ship crossed the invisible boundary, silence fell over his crew. The stars beyond seemed darker, the space itself heavier. Instruments flickered, detecting something wrong. The vast emptiness that had once seemed predictable was now unknowable. And then, the humans sent a message. "Welcome to our space, Ambassador Vesh. We hope you enjoy your stay." Their voices were calm. Too calm. Corin had spent his entire life believing the universe followed a set of rules, but deep down, he knew. The humans had found something out here, something no one else had, and whatever it was, they had made sure that no one else would ever find it. The human escort ship guided Corin's vessel through the void, deeper into the unknown. Unlike the grand warships of the Galactic Council, this human craft was sleek, unassuming, yet something about it unsettled him. It moved with eerie precision, as if it were alive. Every movement was too smooth, too controlled. Corin had seen ships of war, transports, and diplomatic cruisers before, but this was something else, something different. His crew remained silent, watching the dark expanse through the viewing panels. A feeling of unease gripped them all. The ship's sensors still flickered with uncertainty, unable to fully register what lay beyond. It was as if the very fabric of space was distorted here, unreadable. Then, the human voice returned. "We are approaching Sol. Prepare for descent." The words were spoken in perfect standard galactic, yet they felt cold, artificial. Corin had met humans before, traders and diplomats who carried themselves with an almost arrogant confidence. But this was different. The screen flickered, and for the first time, Corin saw Earth. It was unlike any homeworld he had seen before. Other species cherished their planets, preserving nature in balance with their cities. But Earth was a paradox. Towering megastructures stretched beyond the clouds, yet vast stretches of untouched wilderness remained, as if the humans refused to let go of their past. The planet was alive, not just with civilization, but with something deeper, something ancient. Their ship entered the atmosphere, and Corin felt it immediately. A presence, a weight pressing against his mind. It wasn't a physical force, but something beyond his understanding. He glanced at his crew, and they felt it too. "Something is wrong," one of them whispered. The ship descended to a landing platform, and the doors opened. A group of humans waited outside, their expressions unreadable. Unlike other races that adorned themselves with medals and extravagant robes, these humans wore simple, practical uniforms. Their leader, a woman with piercing gray eyes, stepped forward. "Ambassador Vesh," she said. "Welcome to Earth." Corin studied her, searching for some sign of deception, some clue to the mystery that had kept the galaxy at bay. He saw nothing. No fear, no arrogance, just certainty. They knew something. Something the rest of the universe wasn't meant to know. And he was about to find out why. Corin stepped onto the landing platform, his senses overwhelmed by the sheer presence of Earth. The air was thick, rich with unfamiliar scents. Strange flora, the unmistakable tang of industrial metals, and something else. Something he couldn't place. The human leader studied him with unwavering eyes, her expression unreadable. "I am Director Helena Graves," she said. "You must be tired from your journey." Her voice was calm, polite, yet it carried an underlying finality. Not a threat, not an invitation, just a statement of fact. "My crew," Corin started, but Helena raised a hand. "They will be accommodated," she said, "but your presence was requested alone." Corin stiffened. This was unusual. Every diplomatic meeting he had attended involved an entourage, guards, aides, advisors. But humans had a way of rewriting the rules. He glanced back at his crew. Their unease was palpable, but there was nothing they could do. He gave a slow nod, signaling them to comply. The doors of their vessel shut behind them, and he was alone. Helena gestured toward a waiting transport, a sleek, black vehicle with no visible markings. He hesitated for only a moment before stepping inside. The ride was silent. No unnecessary conversation. No scenery to distract him. The windows were dark, blocking any view of the world outside. Corin forced himself to remain calm. He had dealt with powerful figures before. He had stood before warlords and emperors. Yet, somehow, sitting beside this human woman in this unmarked transport, he felt something new. Not fear. Dread. After what felt like an eternity, the vehicle stopped. The doors opened, revealing a vast underground structure. The architecture was unsettling. Smooth, seamless, and impossibly precise. It was not the crude industrialism he had expected from humans. No visible seams, no unnecessary ornamentation. Just pure, functional design. "Follow me," Helena said. She led him through a series of hallways, deeper into the facility. The walls were lined with massive doors, each marked only by a series of numbers. No symbols, no explanations.